We have breaking news here on the Commanders Report as the Washington Commanders have signed, or have rather claimed, KJ Osborn, the former Vikings and Patriots wide receiver, off of waivers. We'll talk about his profile and how he fits into this Commanders wide receiver room down the stretch. Also, Bleacher Report linked 2 running back draft prospects to the Washington Commanders. We'll break down who those draft prospects are and why they could be fits here with the Burgundy and Gold. And then we'll finish up today's show with the latest Commanders injury updates from head coach Dan Quinn before practice today. Now, guys, we have breaking news here on the Commanders Report, and this is why you subscribe to the channel. Whenever the Commanders make a move, every time they make a signing, every time they make a trade, especially during the offseason when all the action's going on, guys, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we get you guys live coverage of every single move that GM Adam Peters makes during the offseason. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hey, if the Commanders continue to make moves, we'll get you guys breaking news videos out there. So the newest Commander here, KJ Osborn, the former Viking and Patriot wide receiver. He was released by the Pats, or rather they mutually agreed to part ways. And now Mr. Osborn is on his way to the nation's capital after Noah Brown suffered a kidney injury. And of course, that's the bad news here. That's the bad portion of today's news segment here, that Coach Dan Quinn says that Noah Brown may miss the rest of this season with kind of a rib/kidney injury. The rib injury that he suffered ended up affecting his kidneys a little bit here. So we're really pulling for Noah Brown. Hopefully he gets back to 100%, but certainly looking dubious at best that he's going to be able to return for this 2024 season, especially during the final 4 weeks of the regular season, which is why they ended up going out and getting a guy in KJ Osborn here who does have a lot of veteran experience as a starter, kind of like a third wide receiver with a bunch of different teams. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time with New England. If you know anything about the Patriots, their wide receiver room is not that good this year, which is why he ended up asking for his release. But obviously the Commanders feel good enough about him to bring him in after Noah Brown has this recent injury. You guys take a look here at the newest commander for the Washington Commanders here. And, you know, he has shown an ability to be a decent blocker in a West Coast system. Now, this isn't a West Coast offense here in Washington. It's more of a air raid kind of hybrid style, pro-style offense here that Cliff Kingsbury runs. So it's going to be a brand new type of thing for KJ Osborn. So he's going to have to really pick up this playbook and quickly if he's going to want to get into the starting lineup and he's going to want to play significant snaps. It's definitely going to be a new thing for KJ, but he does run block pretty well. But the thing with him is that he's not great in terms of being an athlete. He's not great in terms of route running, beating man coverage, and then he does have a pretty bad drop issue as well. His drop rate has been very high over the last few seasons for somebody that you might expect to be a rookie, or not a rookie, of a starting level wide receiver. So that, you know, those are 3 things that you really don't want to see from a wide receiver. He put up some good numbers in Minnesota, but remember, guys, they had guys like Justin Jefferson getting doubled on almost every play. They had a really talented receiver in Jordan Addison. They have a really good tight end in TJ Hawkinson. So KJ wasn't getting a whole lot of attention. So Kevin O'Connell, a really bright offensive mind, was really scheming him open a ton when he was in that Vikings offense. And then once he got out of that Vikings offense and he went to New England, he couldn't even start in that offense. And they've got some serious issues at the wide receiver position. So at the end of the day, guys, I think KJ kind of fits in here, kind of in the De'Ami Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Luke McCaffrey kind of category. Jamison Crowder did start practicing. They did open his 21-day window to return from IR. But now with Noah Brown, your number 2 receiver, injured and likely out for the rest of this regular season, somebody's going to have to step up here, whether that's Luke McCaffrey, whether that's KJ Osborn in the weeks to come, whether that's Olamide Zaccheaus, whether that's De'Ami Brown, whether that's Jamison Crowder. Somebody's going to have to step up here, and it's certainly clear here that Washington feels like KJ Osborn has a shot to be that guy to step up alongside Terry McLaurin, who is having a borderline all-pro caliber season this year. So what do you guys think? Grade the signing for me down there in the comments section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F down there in the comment section for today's pinned comment. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor at Game Time. And while I'm talking about today's sponsor, give me a grade for the KJ Osborn signing down there in the comments section. With that, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. And guys, we still got 2 more home games for the Washington Commanders this year. And if you want to see this very exciting Commanders offense play some football this year before the end of the regular season, you guys can get some great tickets from our friends at Game Time by using their brand new feature called Game Time Picks, which filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Simply select the Game Time Picks button at the top of the screen when you click into an event, and it automatically is going to filter through every single ticket that they have in their database to find you the best tickets at the best prices so that you and your family can get the best possible deal on tickets to the event you want to go see. And what I love about the Game Time app is you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event. You also get all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with a crazy fee at checkout. I know how much I hate that. I'm sure you guys hate that as well. Plus, you guys get flash deals right before game time, so you guys can get even cheaper tickets if you procrastinate and wait to the last minute to get your tickets. So take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. It's one word, all caps, CHATSPORTS. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen right now for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. You can create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. So Bleacher Report has linked 2 top running back prospects in the upcoming NFL draft class to the Washington Commanders here, and I want to kind of break them down for you guys here on the show. The first one is Tennessee Volunteer superstar running back Dylan Sampson here. Producer Joey's a big fan of the Volunteers, big fan of Dylan Sampson, who is still only 20 years old, by the way. Brashard Smith is the other running back that was linked to the Commanders in this article as well. He is out of SMU, who, by the way, will be playing in this year's college football playoff. Let's start here with Dylan Sampson and what Brent Soblenski from Bleacher Report had to say about the Volunteer running back. Sampson's 1,485 rushing yards led the SEC by a significant amount. Opponents loaded with talent knew he was getting the ball as a focal point of this year's offense, yet the 20-year-old still managed over 1,000 rushing yards against SEC competition, including 100-yard games against Alabama and Georgia. Now we go over to Brashard Smith here, and who Soblenski thinks is a good fit for the Commanders. He says he spent 3 seasons as a wide receiver for the Miami Hurricanes before joining the SMU Mustangs as a transfer and becoming their offensive focal point at running back. The 21-year-old carried the ball 217 times for 1,270 yards and 14 touchdowns. He'll have a chance to add to those numbers with the Mustangs appearing in the college football playoff. He also tied for second on SMU with 35 receptions. So listen, man, my first thought when I saw this article and I saw the Commanders getting linked to multiple big-name running back prospects in the NFL draft was, this isn't really the biggest need for the Washington Commanders heading into next offseason. You have Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler under contract for multiple seasons, and not to mention you just drafted Chris Rodriguez Jr. 2 years ago. He's showing some promising signs that even Jeremy McNichols, who is a free agent next year, but he has shown some good things as well, and he may want to return and kind of run it back with this same running back room. But Austin Eckler has suffered a very serious concussion, and it's possible that maybe after this season, he feels like maybe it's time to hang up his cleats and retire. And if that's the case, yeah, you would be in the market for another legit number 2 or maybe even true number 1 running back to work alongside Brian Robinson Jr. because you look at this Commanders offense, and it really works best when you have a dominant run game. When Jaden Daniels throws it more than 31 times in a game, I think the Commanders just have 1 win the entire year, and that was against the Chicago Bears on a Hail Mary. So really this team and this offense really does rely on having a really strong running game. So if Austin Eckler does end up retiring here, that is going to open up a spot for the Washington Commanders. And honestly, guys, I kind of like the Brashard Smith fit here if you're going to be replacing Austin Eckler's role in this offense. I still believe in B-Rob as the number 1 running back. I don't see any reason to replace him in that role. But hey, if Austin Eckler is the RB2 and also as a special teams player ends up retiring, that's what Brashard Smith can bring. He's kind of smaller like Austin Eckler is. He's really good as a receiver out of the backfield just like Austin, and he can play on special teams. So this is somebody that could certainly fill that role if Austin Eckler does decide to walk away from the game. But at the end of the day here, man, if Austin Eckler decides to come back, and there's certainly reason to believe that he will, I'm certainly maybe not looking at running back as a top need for the Washington Commanders in next year's NFL draft. But between these two running backs here, would you rather spend a higher draft pick, probably a round 2 draft pick on Dylan Sampson, type DS, or would you rather spend maybe like an early day 3 draft pick on a guy like Brashard Smith to be kind of a gadget guy behind B-Rob? Let me know down there in the comment section. Higher draft pick for Sampson, type DS. Lower draft pick for Brashard Smith, type BS, down there in the comment section. Now, before we go here, we do have a big injury update here, or another step forward for cornerback Marshon Lattimore. It was reported last week that he is expected to start and play and make his Commanders debut against the Saints this weekend, but today was another big step in that journey, as this was his first full practice in a Commanders uniform today, which is a big step forward because a limited participant is maybe going through some drills, some individual work, that kind of stuff, but a full participant goes through the entire practice, team periods, all these different things to get somebody ready to play football. And with a guy like Marshon Lattimore still needing to learn this playbook, all this different stuff, and really getting used to playing with these guys on the field, this is a big step in the journey. It's certainly looking like Lattimore is, in fact, going to play this weekend against the New Orleans Saints. That'll be it for today's edition of Commanders News and Rumors, guys. Really do appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video with me here. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now because if the Commanders make any more big moves, we'll have breaking news action just like we had today. But we also provide free and informative daily Commanders content for free here on the channel. So if you guys want to click that subscribe button right now, I'd greatly appreciate it.